to the first day of the 2025 NFL season. Ravens, Bills, so much
Yes,
to talk about
sir.
on this episode of the Purple Rain podcast. Yes. Welcome back to episode 331 of the Purple Rain podcast. The Omar Brown, Terrence Brooks, uh, why not a Dalvin Cook episode? Jamal Lewis, Bernard Pollard, Bobby Rainey, Brendan Trawick, Fabian Washington episode of the Purple Rain podcast. Thank you for spending your Thursday evening with us here. Week one of the 2025 NFL season. We have officially made it. We have made it past the long, boring weeks, days, episodes. Unfortunately, talking about a little bit about everything here on the Purple Rain podcast. But we are back, and we have football tonight, starting about an hour in 25 minutes. Could be maybe a weather delay. Don't know what's going on there. But first off, you can follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain podcast. This guy over here on Instagram or on X at Sutton Def. Me, Instagram simply as10.product, or on X it's simply as10, and most importantly, our sponsor, Manscaped. Go on there, use code PRP for 20% off your whole order and free international shipping. The best deal on the internet. It is week one. I know you are happy. I know I'm happy. But we have football. We have Ravens Bills Sunday night. So how are we feeling?
Man, I'm feeling fabulous. That's, for lack of better words, man. It's been a long 6 months, like you said, all the boring weeks and episodes where we kind of had to like cling to information and just kind of scrape things together to come in and put a good podcast product in front of you guys. Those days are over, right? Those days are over. We are fully back in the NFL swing now. I cannot be happier about it. Of course, we have the game on Sunday night against the Bills, but it actually starts tonight from the time that we're recording this. Thursday Night Football with the Cowboys, Eagles in Philly is going to be a good game. I heard it's supposed to rain in that game, so if you're listening to this after the fact, I wonder if it did or not. But that's that one. I'm going to be looking out for that one too. But I'm feeling good, man. Let me see who's here in the live chat. Seems like they're feeling good as well. We got Tila M in the house. Says, "What's up, Rain Gang? What's going on?" Tila giving a hashtag shout out. We got Sean Coles with the purple rain, purple rain, purple rain, purple rain, purple rain with the future reference. Don't think I didn't know where that came from, brother, man. Appreciate you for coming through. We got Chris M, another one of our Purple Rain patrons, part of our members community here at the Purple Rain podcast. We got Chris M, Tila M, also in the house as well. Shout out to our members. We got Tim Hughes in the house. What's going on, Tim? Appreciate you for pulling up, coming through. Let's see who else we got in here. What else? Tisha Brown is in the house. What's going on, Tisha? Good evening. Thank you for coming through, joining us. We got Jing in the house as well. Another one of our members says, "Hey, y'all, what's going on, Jing? Appreciate you." Terry Mitchell giving a shout out to the hashtag Rain Gang. I know that's right. And yeah, you guys are still trickling in here. Appreciate y'all. Don Royal, Chique in the house as well. The Rain Gang is in full effect tonight. Listen, from wherever you're watching, shout out to you. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you go ahead and hit the like button. Also subscribe to the channel if you are new. We'd appreciate that. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, shout out to you as well. And if you're watching on Kick, because we do go live on there too now, shout out to you. And last but not least, X. Our X watchers is a big community on there who watch our show. Appreciate you guys. Special shout out to you. But yeah, let me see. Let's go ahead and get into what I want to talk to you about tonight, man.
Yes.
So I didn't get to talk to you about this yesterday, but this whole red zone and Stream East situation, right? There was some big news dropped yesterday. We're just going to have commercials now. No more Stream East. They got banned. They locked up some guys in Egypt. So they shut that whole operation down. What is your thoughts currently on the whole red zone and Stream East situation?
I'll start with Stream East. It sucks because they were very clutch. I'd be at a sporting event, pop up said website, and have a different game on my phone while I'm at the site. I'm at the game I'm at there, so I can see what's going on, especially college. I'm at a college football game and I want to watch the big noon game. I want to watch the big game going on. I'll have that up on my phone. So that definitely sucks, and rest in peace, and thank you to those two men in Egypt for their sacrifices. I really appreciate that. But man, as for the red zone, I'm a proud red zone watcher. When the Ravens aren't playing, it's always on my computer. If the Ravens are, Sunday night or a late game, I have red zone on the main TV. That's fine. But it was 7 hours of commercial free football. That is what made red zone red zone. And to sit here and I saw Adam Schefter, um, who I have strong feelings for, and it kind of just made it worse today. They kind of just sit here and diminish at the fact like, oh, it's just going to be 1 or 2 minutes, a lot less time of commercials for any other. Like that's not the point of it. It's commercial free football, and that's kind of why fans are upset. So you know what? I am upset as well. It sucks because it's just ESPN. The conglomerate taking over another sports franchise and most likely, all in all, ruining it, not knowing how to distribute it. So I'm kind of upset about that, mainly more upset with ESPN.
Yeah, I think it actually has to do with Big Brother Disney, right? I think that that's a big thing behind it as well. But they released more information about the whole commercials thing today, and I think it was reported from Ari Myrov that there's only going to be like 4 15-second advertisements, like full blown commercials. I think they said across the 7 hours of football, that they're showing. So it doesn't sound all that bad. They said that that was just for week one, though. So I don't know if in week two or by week 10 we're going to be looking at 10 commercials or 15 commercials. I assume they'll bump that number up, but it seems like kind of going to ease us into it, which I'm better with. But I said this yesterday, and let me know if you agree. Do you think that red zone is at all overstimulated?
I mean, I think there are certain moments, maybe when like everybody's in red zone or the octo box, but I mean, not. It depends. Like if you're getting overstimulated by the Panthers and the Saints, and they are score best. I mean, if that's you, that's you. But for me, only when it's crunch time or when it's like octo box, you'd have to watch everything. But honestly, not really for me.
Yeah. And for me, it is because I'm the type of guy who likes to like take stock of what's going on in every single game. After the game's over, I want to remember kind of like the storyline of each game. And it's hard to keep up with the storyline of each game, have like 8 games on all at once. That's just me, because I try to keep up with again, the stories of every game that's going on. So for me, it kind of is. I think this Sunday specifically, I'm like, red zone sounds appealing because a lot of those 1 p.m. games are not the best, not the most compelling, right? And we'll get into our picks later. But I think I might lock in on that Steelers and Jets game at 1 p.m. because I really want to see how Aaron Rodgers looks, and of course Justin Fields as well. But I really want to see how Aaron Rodgers looks in the Steelers uniform if he still has it. Reports are coming out of camp that he looks very slow, so I want to see what that Jets pass rush can do and how he can kind of work through that. That'll be interesting for me. It's either between them or the Bengals and Browns. Am I right?
Yes, yeah, they will be playing, and I'll probably have one in the red zone. If not that, maybe just I don't want to watch our rivals week one. I don't want to hate watch that early, so I'll probably watch something else. Who knows? Maybe if the Commanders are on, I have to watch them and Jaden Daniels. They're on at 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock against the Giants. Yep,
Yeah, I'll
yep.
probably
So
be
I'll
watching that.
probably flip between that one as well. To be honest with you, because I do want to see what Jaden Daniels is going into year two. But okay, let's actually go ahead and get into what we came here to talk about, right? And I see D
Yes.
was in the chat saying, "Who are the Vikings?" And the Vikings are in the Bears on Monday Night Football. That should be another good matchup. Cannot wait to see that. But let's get in here to what we came to talk about, right? Ravens versus Bills, the preview. And of course, we're going to get into a lot of different things on this episode. So we're going to preview the Ravens versus Bills game. We're going to give you our score predictions. We're going to give you our picks for every single NFL week one game. And then we're also going to give you our parlay segment as well. Yes, yes, yes. That is back from last season. The parlays are back in full effect, man. Cannot wait for that. So make sure you stick around, like the video, subscribe to the channel. This is, again, episode 331 of the Purple Rain podcast. All right, so let's go ahead and get into our health report.
Yes. Yes. So right here you can see the Ravens I word report. 4 names on there, but all starters. I know how we feel about one of them. But first off, we'll start with Jair Alexander. Was limited yesterday and was full today, which is great news for his availability. But for me, I'd rather have him healthy down the stretch. We know why we signed him, not for week one, week two, week three. We're talking about later in the year. These are big games now, but we want him healthy for those playoffs. Then you can see there, Daniel Flele had illness limited yesterday, full today. Those two guys will be good to go, suited up come Sunday night. But these next two, Isaiah Likely, I think I was expecting this, when the whole word came out about him, getting carted off. 100% understandable. And then Patrick Ricard has not practiced, I think, since August 14th, I want to say. So we're approaching, 2.5 weeks of no practice for him. So he will not be practicing or not be playing on Sunday, which kind of throws a hitch in the giddy up for the Ravens plans now because a guy like Ricard, pretty much can play anywhere. Unfortunately, we've seen receiver he can play there, but fullback, he'll go on the line, help chip, help block. I expect Charlie Kolar, I think, to take over more of his role this week and kind of go into our betting segment. Don't be scared to touch a Charlie Kolar over. I'll tell you that right now. Won't be the worst thing in the world. But definitely looking like Likely and Ricard will not be playing come Sunday night. So that is definitely bad news for the Ravens, but hopefully those guys get healthy and maybe see him come week 3 or week 4 when we play the Lions or the Chiefs. And then going over to the Bills outward report, while you're pulling up, I know that former friend Raven, Tre'Davious White, has not practiced the past 2 days, I believe, with a groin I want to say. So I know he'll probably be out. And then one of the defensive tackles is on the IR, so he will not be playing. And then Keon Coleman, one to watch. He's been limited the past 2 days with a groin Not sure how serious that is, but he obviously won't be 100%. And let me just check the
Mhm.
last Bills one. Dwayne Carter is the defensive tackle who is on the IR, not playing for them. And then one to really watch, I'm sorry, is Tyler Bass. Left hip and groin, limited yesterday, didn't practice today. So if they have to go for it on maybe like a 4th and 3, 4th and 4, don't be surprised because maybe their place kicker isn't healthy enough to hit anything over 40 yards, and that's just being kind.
Yeah, well, I mean, you spoke about Tyler Bass. They did pick up Matt Prater. They just signed him to the practice squad earlier today. So I think you could see a potential elevation of Matt Prater on game day if Tyler Bass is not ready to go. And of course, Matt Prater is old as dust. He's been around forever since I think the Tim Tebow days. He's been around for a long time, very long time. But when we're looking at some of these I words here, Alex, I think the biggest one that stands out for us, not even on the Bills side, but for me, it's on the Ravens side, Patrick Ricard, right? Dealing with a calf right now, some discomfort there. Exactly sure the full extent of it. I believe it's like a soft tissue thing in the calf as well, which is not good because calves they can definitely linger around for a longer period of time. Now, what I will say is that this is going to heavily impact the Ravens' run schemes, right? And how Bills defend them as well. And we're going to get into our keys to victory, so I won't dive much into that. But that's my biggest concern going into this matchup, Alex, is that, you know, they're not going to be able to run the ball as effectively without that essentially what is an extra a mobile offensive lineman slash fullback slash tight end hybrid in a Patrick Ricard.
Yeah, and that's why, like I said, I think Charlie Kolar will be making his money and could, really be showing why he maybe deserves a contract extension come midseason with his pass blocking. I think he's our best pass blocking tight end, and it'll be interesting to see how Tom Monken utilizes him, passing. I mean, I'm sorry, run blocking and even pass blocking as well. I saw Don Rose say Ricard helps Falele, yeah, and that's kind of going to be Charlie Kolar's job, I think, as well, helping Chip. They got Joey Bosa now. Not going to sit here and say he's going to turn into his former self, but he's still a force to be reckoned with on the edge, and obviously still has some juice left and wants to help contribute for this Bills team. So Todd Monken will have to dial something up, but I know we'll get ours in the run game. But that is the I word report for the Sunday night clash between the Ravens and the Bills.
Yeah, also another thing to look at, the corners, and those corners for Buffalo, not really, I don't really know exactly how they're going to look, how comfortable they're going to be. Of course, Christian Benford practicing in full day. Tre'Davious White still not practicing with the groin. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how they sort of respond to not being at full strength at corner, especially when the Ravens are coming in, honestly, with the best wide receiving core, arguably, that they've had in the past decade. To be honest with you, am I right? Am I right about that? Yeah, I'm
I
right about
think
that. I
you,
think.
I think you are, and their first round pick, the guy from Kentucky, I think Maxwell Harrison, he's on the IR. He's out the first 4 games this year, so they really are decimated in that secondary front.
Yeah, yeah. So that is the I word report for this Ravens versus Bills game. It's going to be, again, very, very interesting. It's going to be a photo finish, to be honest with you, when it comes down to who plays and who doesn't. When it comes to certain guys, of course, we know likely, like my guy Alex mentioned, will not be back for some time. But we do hope to see potentially a Patrick Ricard and I don't know, maybe a few of the other guys as well can suit up and play. Don C says Alex Sutton as the usuals in the chat. What's going on, Don?
What's
One
up,
of our
Don?
other members here at the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. Appreciate you for coming through. It's going to be a great season, Don. So I hope you are locked and loaded and ready to go here as you always are every single season. We appreciate you for coming through. Oh, I see Andrew G in the chat. What's going on, Andrew? Appreciate you for coming through as well. I see Taurus in there. What's going on? Appreciate all you guys. All right, Alex. So let's go ahead and let's get into some keys to victory for the
Yeah.
Ravens to walk out of Highmark Stadium with a W on Sunday Night Football. For me, we'll just give two of our to victory, a piece, right? Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah.
All right, perfect. So for me, the first key to victory is going to be you gotta win the numbers game up front, right? So as we all know, the Ravens, what they're gonna do in this game, they are going to load up and run the ball down the Bills' throat early on. What did the Bills do to counteract that in the divisional playoff game last season? They basically put a bunch of more bodies in the box, right? And it did help that they had Terrell Bernard who wasn't there for the week 4 matchup. It did help that they had a Matt Milano who wasn't there for that week 4 matchup either, right? But they're gonna put a lot of bodies in the box and early on, basically dare the Ravens to throw the football. So for me, I think that a big key to victory, throw the Bills' defense strategy off and throw the ball early, right? Let Lamar throw it down the field early in the game, and then once we kind of get him off balance a little bit, then hit him with the repeated run. Because as we saw last year in that playoff game, they started off, stopping the run really, really well, right, Alec? Really, really
Yeah.
well. But then it started to taper off in the second half once they started getting tired. Defensive line started getting worn down. And that was one point of emphasis for the Bills this offseason to kind of bolster that defensive line. So I do expect them to put up a little bit better of a fight there. But again, one of my keys to victory, one of my biggest ones, let Lamar throw early, throw the Bills' defensive strategy off course. What is one of yours, though?
So for me, I'm gonna go to the defensive side of the ball, and we've kind of talked about maybe a little bit of a hole, behind our starters is that defensive tackle, and it's stopping their run. Let's be honest. They had their way of running the ball against us last year, in the playoffs, I should say. 3 touchdowns, 150 yards, and for a Ravens defense, from what I grew up on, they're running on 100 yards on the Ravens defense is it doesn't happen, but they did it, and they did it a great job, and they now have a happy James Cook there. He's paid. They have Josh Allen, who we know can run the ball. You can't let him run for 100 and change on you like that again. It just cannot happen. So for one, it's stopping the run. I need my linebackers as well to step out. I see you're wearing the Roquan Smith jersey. I need either let it be Trenton Simpson or maybe a Teddy Buchanan or maybe a Jay Higgins. I need them to also help out Roquan Smith and stop the run. Uh, I'm not going to sit here and downplay James Cook and Josh Allen because they are fantastic 1-2 punch running the ball. So if you can hold them both, I'd say to under 100 and maybe just one touchdown, I think that puts you in a great spot to win the game. So my first key is just stopping the run because I think ultimately that's what lost us the game last year as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And, James Cook being one of those running backs who was right there neck and neck with Derrick Henry when it came to rushing touchdowns last season. So, yeah, bottling him up early and kind of putting all the onus and saying, okay, Josh Allen, we're going to delete James Cook from your game plan. You go win it. And of course, as we know, Josh Allen is very capable of doing that. Much to Ravens fans' chagrin, he did win MVP last season. Uh, but he was very, very good, and he's a very, very good player, Josh Allen. And if he can make something out of nothing in a lot of ways, just like Lamar Jackson can. So not quite. I'm still a Ravens homer. But yeah, we cannot let them get their run game all going early on. I totally agree with that. Um, another key to victory for me, right? Another key to victory for me in this one is to kind of start the season fast. And this is kind of like this game is kind of like a microcosm of this key. This is honestly the key to the season, but you got to start in week 1 here. Takeaways, force turnovers on the Bills. So here's a stat, Alex. So in takeaway, the Bills ranked third in the league last year. Third in the league last year with 32 takeaways, while the Ravens ranked 19th. They were tied for 19 with only 17 takeaways. That cannot happen again this season. And I think it starts with this game one right here, forcing the ball out of the Bills' hands and turning the football over and flipping the field. Do you agree?
100%, and we've kind of harped on that the whole offseason. Kind of why you draft Malachi Starks, why you sign a Jair Alexander, why you sign a Chidobe Awuzie. Why you let a guy like Brandon Stevens go, possibly, and let Nate Wiggins step up. We know he has the hand, well, not the hands, but he has the instincts. If he had the hands, he'd have 4 or 5 interceptions last year. So it's why you make these moves, I think, in the offseason. So I think that's a fantastic key to victory right there.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And let me see, because when you look at the actual turnovers, the Ravens were third least, and the Bills they had the least amount of turnovers with only 8 last season. So got to turn the Bills over, and we got to protect the football on our end. Obviously, aren't the most shocking keys to victory, but
Yeah.
this is what we've been talking about it all season long. What needs to happen ever since the schedule dropped. I mean, we kind of already knew what the keys to victory for this game would be. So apologies if it sounds a little bit cookie cutter, guys, but hey, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
We'll have a little bit more, I think, context to our keys to victory as the season kind of rolls on, and as we know kind of how the season is living and breathing, if you know what I mean, Alex.
Yeah.
So, that'll be that. But I think those are some good keys, though. I think those
Yeah.
were some very good keys to victory.
Yeah. I have just one more, and it takes me back to last
Sure.
year. Do you remember how
Lay it
our
on me.
I know we scored on our first drive last year, but do you remember what a big it kind of was blowing up Twitter last year in the first drive? Do you remember what that was?
Mm, was it an Andrews drop?
It was not, no. It
No.
was it was penalties. Ronnie Stanley had like
Oh, right, right,
3
right,
or
right.
4
Yeah.
penalties the first drive. It's
Yeah.
stuff like that where I want us to come out just and play mistake-free football. No penalties, it feels like, because it feels like, we talk about having, the most experienced head coach, but we're always up there in the most penalized team. Play mistake-free football, play clean football. That is all I want to see. And it hurt us. I mean, it was every play, and thankfully we were able to bail ourselves out the first try, but flag, flag, flag. If Ronnie Stanley wasn't lined up correctly, or we just have a stupid penalty here and there, like, you can't win the game, holding yourself back. So if we can come out this game, play clean, and ultimately, I know the DPI last year was, ticky tacky, but that's kind of what hurt us in the end. But if we can come out like you said and just play clean as well, no holdings, O line looking at you, no holdings, number 77 looking at you. It's just big keys right there, man.
Absolutely. That's one that I didn't even think about until you just brought it up. Like, absolutely, yeah. Turn over. Penalties is something that you have to minimize, especially in a game like this. Is going to be on the road, so it's going to be damn loud at Highmark Stadium. This is the last year of Highmark Stadium's existence, so I Bills Mafia to be louder than ever. Honestly, the decibels are going to be off the charts. The stadium pulse is going to be off the charts. So
Yeah.
I don't want to see any mental lapses from the offensive line, which is why I'm glad a lot of the starters from the offensive line got to play in preseason, so they can get a little bit of those jitters, so they can get a little bit of that lack of discipline out of their system before, they're online, are ready to snap the ball for Lamar Jackson in Highmark Stadium on the road in Buffalo. So totally agree there. The penalties, if we can kind of clean that up, then man, we're gonna be golden. Be golden, right? The Ravens, really, the only ones who can stop the Ravens, as we all know, is the Ravens. So you see D Wiz in the chat. D in the chat going on, man. Says Monk said we're switching up cadence, so I'm curious how that's gonna look.
Okay.
Yeah, there might be some growing pains. There might
Yeah.
be some growing pains, right, Alex? You know what I mean? Like early on, you're gonna have somebody online jump. And I know the entire Twitter is gonna overreact. I'll probably overreact in the moment. I'm sure Alex will too. But it's just what it comes with the territory, right?
Yeah, and we saw it throughout training camp. I think it was what Harbaugh stormed on the field, took the whole, 5 linemen off the field, put a whole new 5 on because of the amount of pre-snap penalties. Uh, Maybe that's the growing pains right there. I'm hoping it is, and hoping come week 1 we look good and we have it down. But it might happen, and I hope it doesn't. But you have to expect it. And it's funny you bring up the whole Twitter, because I know you saw that graphic yesterday of like the whole NFL thing, and it's NFL Australia who posted it. But who they had for the
Yeah,
Ravens, you saw that, yeah. You gotta love it out of context, but we all know who will get a lot more heat than the others on the line, and it's kind of expected. But if that can work, and it really makes its way down the end of the year and it helps us, limit penalties, I'm all for it. So hopefully Munkin's cooking with that, but we'll find out 8:20 on Sunday night.
Yeah, man. Monken have his work cut out for him, as I say every single season. He's got a bunch of options, and it's literally when you're playing against the Buffalo Bills, it comes down to a game of numbers, right? Like they're going to put enough guys down low in the box to stop your rushing attack so you cannot control the game, run the football. So what are you going to do to basically force them out of those obvious run defense situations, if you know what I mean, Alex? You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
force them out of a heavy defensive line with four down line, and force them out of nickel, which that they love to run so much. With that extra corner on the field, and I think you'll see a lot of that nickel. Honestly, with with the Ravens, of course, on third down when they have an extra receiver on the field, you'll see a lot of that nickel from the Buffalo Bills. So I'd love to see some direction even as well. I think you'll see a lot of screens in this one too, especially with of a Patrick Ricard. I don't think they lean too heavily on a Charlie Collar. I think you see a lot of screens to the likes of Derrick Henry, to the likes of Justice Hill. Wink, wink, kind of alluding it to one Purple Rain parlay picks right there.
Mhm.
But yeah, keys to victory. I think those were some really good ones. Listen, if you have a key to victory for the Ravens to walk out of Buffalo with a W, please, please, please drop it down below in the live chat. If you're not watching this episode 331 of the Purple Rain Podcast live, you're part of the hashtag replay gang. Thank you so much for joining this episode, but make sure you drop yours down below in the comment section. We want to know you guys' keys to victory for this one. All right. Let me see. Rod Wave says run the ball at the goal line. I agree.
Yes, I
Totally
agree.
agree there.
I agree.
Scored a touchdown, down low after Shaw Bateman had that deep catch against the Bills in the divisional game. I there was a penalty that backed us up a couple of yards on that drive too. But man, I would not have been mad if you gave Derrick Henry 3 times, just dared him to stop it. Am I right?
Yeah, and don't go for two when you're when it's in the third quarter, middle of the third quarter. You don't have to go for two in that situation. You can kick the extra point. It's not a crime, John. Trust me.
Yeah, yeah, totally agree there. Um, Run the damn ball, says Taurus. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
We agree. We agree. But again, I just think that early on in the game, maybe throw them off a little bit, right? I would love to see some misdirection, some toss, some screens, things like that. Because Alex, I actually just went back yesterday and I rewatched the full entire game from the divisional round loss against the Bills, and I just wanted to see the very first play. That's all I wanted to see was the very first play of the game. And lo and behold, the very first play of the game was a Derrick Henry run to the left, right? Um, like in between the guard center. Now, the only issue with that was literally everybody in the world knew it was going to Derrick Henry on that play, including, of course, the Bills linebackers were literally falling over their tippy toes before the snap even started, before the rep even started, because they knew exactly what hole they needed to fill, because they knew exactly where the football was going. Derrick Henry's belly, through the B gap, we're gonna meet him there, and Matt Milano did on that play. So I think you got to throw him off early and like kind of scare him out of like just being so, you know, sell out on the run. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna sell out very, very hard on stopping the run. So if you can scare them out of that, then that would bode for the rest of our game. So those are gonna be the keys to victory for this one. Let's go ahead and get into some score predictions.
Oh,
We got a super chat
there it
donation. This one's
is.
coming from Don, making it rain here
Thank you. Thank
on
you.
this episode with the 5 piece in the chat. What's going on, Don? Appreciate you for coming through. And as you guys notice, we got these new alerts on screen now, right?
Nice.
We got these new
Nice.
alerts. It's a new season, a new us, right? It's a new
Beautiful. It's
PRP, right?
beautiful. It's
We're not
beautiful.
doing the same old stuff, Alex. You feel me? We're not doing the
Beautiful.
same old stuff. We upgrading here. But thank you so much for making it rain here. You see the little Lamar gift that popped up. It's probably my favorite Lamar celebration, to be honest with you. I know it's a lot of our favorite celebration from Lamar. That's why I put it up there. But let's go ahead and see what Don says here. Drop the 5 piece in the chat again, making it rain here. It says, my guys, good evening. What personnel group do you think the Ravens put in when the Bills bring in the 6'0 lineman? Can we shut down the short yardage?
Oh, yeah. So I'll tell you who it probably will be. I mean, obviously, Matty BK will be out there. Um,
Yeah.
Travis Jones, obviously. Thinking who else do you put on that line as well? Do you want to go another D tackle or do you want to? I don't think you do.
I mean, for the short yardage situations, I am not opposed to putting a Broderick Washington out there as a third defensive tackle. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Kind of trying to like plug up that middle, especially if we're
Yeah.
talking about short yardage situations, maybe like a tush push or like James Cook just needs a third and one, a 1 yard or a 2 yard, right? Plug up that middle, man, and press Roquan Smith and Trenton Simpson to fill the remaining gaps. I think that's what you'll probably be looking for in short yardage situations for down O linemen for sure.
Yeah. I see a John Jenkins, always another shout. Probably between him or Broderick Washington, and then
Yeah.
Peebles as well. Depends how highly they rate him in this situation. So it's nice to have a little bit of variety, but probably gonna have 3D linemen out there. I'd say for those types, and then obviously Josh Allen is not no small guy. He's he's a moose basically at quarterback. I'll say it. So
Yeah.
he's hard to take down.
Yeah. He is. He is. So thank you again, Don, for your super chat donation. We appreciate you each and every time, brother. Looking forward to a wonderful season with you in our community, and we appreciate it. Let me see. We got our guy Prod by Urban Closer in the house. What's going on, Prod? Appreciate you for popping out. Listen, man, we're back. We are back. So 331 of the Program Podcast, the very first episode of the season. It is kicking off tonight. We are very, very excited. All right, so let's go ahead and get into our score prediction. Let's get into our score prediction for the Ravens versus Bills game. Alex, I want to talk to you first. This one, I can't remember what we predicted last season before the playoff game. I'm pretty sure we both predicted the Ravens to win.
Yes.
But what are your thoughts on this one? Do you think the Ravens win? Do you think the Bills win? And what's going to be the final score?
Whew. I want to say I probably picked us to lose this game come our schedule prediction, but I think with context, and if you would have told me that the Bills' first round defensive back is going to be out, Tre'Davious White is going to be out, so now you're down two starting defensive backs. I think I'm allowed to change my pick, and I'm going to. I do have the Ravens winning this game. I have them winning. I'll be honest, like 31-21. I think. Um, I I'm just not that sold. I think we're a much better team than the Bills. I hate to say it. I mean, maybe I don't. Sorry, not sorry. Maybe it's purple blinders, but I like what we've done. I think missing Likely and Ricard sucks, but I'll say now Mark Andrews touchdown, pressure's off, regular season. It's probably gonna happen. So missing Likely would suck more for the playoffs than now. I still think we can run the ball. And their defense, to be honest, just Joey Bosa's cool and all, but it's going to be hard when you don't know, if Lamar's throwing it and your defensive backs can't cover our receivers. I like our secondary against their receivers. I like Jair. I like Marlon. I like Nate. I like Awuzie. I like Starks. And I like Hamilton against whatever they throw at me. Give me the Ravens,
Yeah.
31-21, 1-0, and start our season off with a nice fat dub.
Yeah. I like that. And by the way, I see you, Tila M in the chat. She says she's walking her dog right now, just like where the Ravens are gonna walk over the Bills. Love that. Love that. Love that so much. Shout out to our member team in the house. But yeah, no, I can see the Ravens winning by 2 scores, like you said, by 10 points. And I don't think it's crazy at all for you to say that you think that the Ravens are a better football team than the Bills. Case in point, the Ravens lost a game by 2 where they had 3 turnovers and forced 0 turnovers. That is not supposed to happen. You're supposed to get blown out by multiple possessions if that happens. But to be honest with you, the Bills really didn't have much for the Ravens on offense. Right? They couldn't get much going. I think Josh Allen finished with a whopping 125 yards, Allen, something like that. I mean, historically speaking, the Bills offense has not crushed and really dominated the Ravens in the same way that they've done against some other teams. They averaged, I think, 30.7, 30.9 points a game or something like that last year. And I think we came in second at like 30.3, somewhere around there. So they score a lot of points, but when they play the Ravens, they really don't, right? And it
Yeah.
just comes down to whose defense can force the most mistakes.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to. So, you know, for me, my score prediction, I do think the Ravens are going to win this game as well. I do think it's going to be a little bit closer only because I like the Bills take a late game rally, but I do think that the Ravens jump off to an early start. I'm going to go 31-27 Ravens. I'm going to
Okay.
go 31-27 Ravens. I think that the Bills have an opportunity to drive down the field, get a game-winning touchdown, but I think it's either shut down, either turnover on downs, or there's an actual turnover force, which would be absolutely chef kiss chef's kiss way to end that game, if I'm being honest, because like I said before, one of the keys to victory for me is forcing more turnovers, so I'm going to go 31-27 Ravens in this one. Let us know what you guys think in the chat. I see you guys sounding off. Listen, if you're not watching live, again, make sure you comment down below in the comment section what you think the score is going to be to this Ravens versus Bills game Sunday 8. I see 35-16 from Taurus. I see 42-10
Whew,
from Rod Wave.
whew.
Ooh, we're predicting blowouts here. Lisa was in the chat. Lisa was in the chat. Probably be on the same stuff, like 74-2 or something like that. Shout out to Lisa, by the way. Let me see. Jing says, Rod, we scored 35 on them before. What's more touchdown? I agree. I think that the Ravens, if they come out angry enough, right, and they really take the sails out of Buffalo early on in that game, I think that they don't let up. They don't let
Yeah.
up for the rest of the game, and I think they just kind of run all over them, run them out of their own field. I think it will be a little bit closer than that. So I'm going to go 31-27 in this one. But I do think that you're going to have this Ravens offense coming out and firing on all cylinders. I do wholeheartedly believe that. And the reason being is because, one, like we said, their DB room a little bit banged up right now. You got guys dealing with growing injuries, like not injury, eye worries, knock on wood, right? Even though it's the Bills. But you got guys dealing with growings here and there. I think like Rashad Bateman could potentially go off in this one. I, full disclosure, I've got Rashad Bateman scoring at least one touchdown game. Bold prediction is that he finds the end zone twice. So that's just, just put it out. That's going to be a bold prediction from me.
If that happens, we will be very loud come Monday. That's all I'm gonna say. Very, very loud.
Facts.
Very loud. And
Facts.
I would thoroughly enjoy that. I have to see what his props are looking like. I guess my bold prediction was the Andrews touchdown and possibly two. Um, it's just very fitting. Listen, I love the guy. Like, I love me some Andrews, but
Yeah.
that's just kind of who he is. Unfortunately, he's a regular season guy. He's kind of epitomizes what this Ravens team has been the past couple of years, regular season. So won't surprise me. He's kind of in my material now. I have to see it in the postseason. Love him dearly. Love you 89. So I know you'll get yours this game, but come January, come hopefully February, that's where I want to see it. But that's my bold prediction: one or maybe two for Mr. Andrews.
That would be awesome. That would be incredible, to be honest with you. I would love to see that from Mark Andrews. We all know he is a regular season demon, but hopefully he can use this first game to kind of, whether it be regular season game or not, he can use his game to kind of right his wrongs
Yep.
and kind of lift that mental load off of his back, off of his mind that he's had to carry for the past 6 months, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So we gotta cheer him on, man, because he's gonna be a big part of the offense just like he is every single year. So I do think that the Ravens kind of manufacture ways to get him in the end zone so he can feel, a little bit more confident, right?
Yeah.
Going throughout this season. Because he started last slow, well, like very, very slow. Of course, he was hurt. He was out the first couple of games, was he not? Or was he playing? He just
He
didn't
was
look
playing.
himself.
He had that car accident that we still don't know
Right.
how. I mean, it had to be serious because he didn't. He looked like a shell of himself the first, three,
Yeah.
4 weeks. Because likely he was getting more targets. Week 2, nobody really did anything. Week 3, week 4, I think he had his first touchdown against the Commanders. So hopefully this year starts off. Doesn't wait 5-6 games to get to this first game.
Yeah. Totally agree there. All right. So that is going to be our coverage of our preview of the Ravens versus Bills matchup. As we're about 38 minutes into this episode, we're going to go ahead and switch gears here to our next segment. It's not just topics anymore. We got our segments back. Almost said topics, but we got our segments back from the Purple Rain podcast because the season is beginning. I think it's time for some picks, Alex. What do you think?
I think it is time for our week 1 picks. We are back.
Let's go ahead and
It
let's
feels
go ahead and
good.
get right into it, man. Feels good. Let's go.
Yes, look at that intro. Beautiful intro, beautiful. And listen, I think I'm going to probably parlay all of my picks every week this year. And hopefully maybe, something got them all right last year. Or maybe take out a game or two that I think could be 50-50. But I like the way we've been picking. I'll be honest. I think we've done a really good job over the years. We've been right more than we've been wrong. And let's start off on a good note this year. Tonight, Cowboys and the Eagles, week 1, first game. Who do you have?
Give me the Eagles, baby. I mean, I feel like this is an easy one. The Cowboys, of course, coming off of trading Parsons, they're doing some shuffling around there on that defensive line. I think there's some uncertainty there. Well, actually, I know there's some uncertainty there. Of course, they believe in their young guys. They're still unproven, though. So give me the defending games to win this one, honestly, by 7 to 10 points, I would say.
Oh, there you go. Next, I have the Eagles as well. No doubt about that. Moving on to tomorrow in Brazil, the Chiefs and the Chargers. I'll go first. I have the Chiefs winning this one. Even without Rashee Rice, I do like their offense. I think they'll be better than they were last year. So give me the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm going to go the Chiefs in this one, too. I do think that they do not regress this season. Maybe if just slightly. I know they went 15-2 last year. They won a bunch of one-score games, right? I do expect them to regress a little bit on those one-score games, winning them at least. But in this one, give me Mahomes. I think he's found his left tackle now that they just drafted in Simmons. So give me Mahomes and the Chiefs in this one.
Yes. Next one up, our 1 o'clock window, the Dolphins and the Colts. The Daniel Jones-led Colts against the Tua Tagovailoa Dolphins. I'll go here. I like the Dolphins in this one. I think they are the better team on paper. I think they will win. Daniel Jones, I'm just not sold.
Yeah, so for me in this one, I'm going to go with the Dolphins too. I think by a close margin, to be honest with you, but there's something about Miami playing in late summer / early fall, right? I know it's in a dome in Indianapolis, but I don't know. I feel like Tyreek Hill is gonna take off of this defense a couple of times. Give me the Dolphins in this, and a close one though. Give me the Dolphins.
Yes. Next up, the Steelers and the Jets. I'm going to take the Steelers in this one. It's just going to be typical. It's going to be an ugly win. It's going to be like 23-20. They're going to win on like a late Chris Boswell field goal. And it won't be convincing at all, but what you'll know is they're going to be 1-0. Steelers in this one.
Yeah, I do also have the Steelers bringing out a tight kind of like defensive led win. I do have them pulling that off. And like I said earlier in the show, I'm very excited to see what Aaron Rodgers does within the Steelers offense. Of course, we know underneath Arthur Smith, Canada, whoever, it's a lot of running. It's like run, pass, right? Run, pass. You know what I mean? So that seems to be the pattern with them. We'll see what Jaylen Warren can do. Of course, I know they believe in their young guys too, and that defense is still that defense. But give me the Steelers in a close one, probably by about maybe 5 to 7, I would say. Steelers.
All right, next up, I think one of my games I'm looking forward to in the early window, the Panthers and the Jags. Give me the Panthers. I'm going to ride the Bryce Young wave from what he ended the season off last year. Love the way he looked. Think, getting Ted McMillan next to him and him having just a year of just confidence or off-season of confidence helps him out a lot and spoils the Travis Hunter debut. Panthers in this one for me.
I'm going to go the Jaguars in this one. I do believe that Trevor Lawrence feels like his back is up against the wall this season. Now he's got even more weapons at his disposal. Again, Travis Hunter is one of them, like you mentioned. Ryan Thomas Jr., I can see having a really, really big day against a young Carolina secondary. So give me Jacksonville in this one.
Next up, the Cardinals and the Saints in New Orleans. Spencer Rattler, starting quarterback for the Saints against Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. Give me the Cardinals in this one. They're going to look good the first 4 or 5 weeks of the year, then it just goes downhill.
Looks like we got another super chat donation. D Watson, that was making it rain. What's going on, brother? Dropping the 2-piece in the chat. Says Sutton knows the ref on Sunday night out. Oh man, who was it again? I can't even remember who it was. You said it yesterday.
John Hussey.
Hussey, right.
John
That's
Hussey.
right. Yeah.
The referee for Sunday night.
Yeah. Off the top of your head, do you know any John Hussey games that he officiated over the Ravens?
Ravens Chiefs 2020 Monday Night Football. I remember that like yesterday. That was a bad one. That was an awful game he officiated. He's not the worst though.
Penalties, man.
He's not the worst.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see. And thank you, 2-piece D Watts. We appreciate you. All right, where were we? You said who?
Cardinal Saints.
We're looking at Oh yeah, I have the Cardinals in this one. I have the Cardinals.
Awesome. Next up, NFC East matchup. The new look Giants, Mr. Unlimited Russell Wilson against Jaden Daniels. Give me the Commanders in this one. I think FedEx Field is going to be rocking. They made the championship last year. How can you not be excited right now as a Commander fan? Give me the Commanders.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Commanders in this one too. It will be interesting to see how Jaden Daniels and that offensive line reacts to the star-studded front seven that the Giants got going on right now. You know what I mean? From
Yeah.
Kayvon Thibodeau, Abdul Carter to Dexter Lawrence, all those guys. I do expect the Giants to make a little bit of noise in the NFC East, but until they start Jason Dart, I think they will struggle with Russell Wilson back there. They just need they need some young blood back there, right, to kind of juice the team up. I think that they're kind of underestimating what that would do for their franchise right now. So for that reason, I think that Russell Wilson struggles, but give me the Commanders.
All right. Next up, the Bucks and the Falcons NFC South matchup. Who do you have?
Bucks and Falcons for me. This is gonna be close. I think this one's gonna be a lot closer for comfort than either team like. But the Bucks, I like that Baker has found his home in Tampa Bay over the past couple of seasons. He's good with them, man. And the Falcons, I feel like they're kind of a frisky team, but they're not on the same level as they're not quite as established as Tampa Bay right now. For that reason, Week 1, I think they come out a little bit more buttoned up than Atlanta does with Penix and those boys. Give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, same here. Bucks. I like their offense. I like defensively what they're doing as well. I think they will win this one. Next up, the AFC North matchup: Bengals and the Browns. I have the Bengals winning this. They are 1-11 in the last 12 games. Week 1 and 2 over the past 6 years. I think they win this one. The Browns, I'm not going to say are going to lay down there and just roll over. It's going to be a close game, but I think the Bengals find a way and squeak it out and finally win that Week 1 game.
Yeah, give me the Bengals this one as well. I think that the explosiveness on offense between Burrow, Chase, as you guys know that whole trio there, it'll be a little bit too much for the Browns Week 1. Give me the Bengals.
Yes. Next up, the Raiders with Geno Smith, with Pete Carroll against the Patriots, and Mike Vrabel and Drake May. Give me the Patriots in this one. I was leaning towards the Raiders, but I think that the Patriots will have enough at home, and I think Vrabel injects some new life into that team.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one for me. I could honestly see this one going to overtime. Week 1, it'll probably be a walk-off field goal win, one of those type of things. But give me the Patriots, man. Give me the Patriots. I think that the Mike Vrabel regime in New England starts off on the good foot, despite the efforts of Pete Carroll, Ashton Genty, Gino and company, and Brock Bowers. Damn, they got a squad over there too. Now I'm thinking about it. But give me the Patriots at home in a very, very close one. Razor close.
Yeah. Next up, the Niners and the Seahawks were in the 4 o'clock window. I like the Niners in this one. Seahawks with Sam Darnold. Happy for him, he got his money, but I think the Niners, after last year, man, they have something to prove, and I've liked what they've done. They're down a couple of receivers, but I think Pearsall will be fine. I think Jawan Jennings is playing as well. Obviously, you have George Kittle, CMC, Brian Robinson now. Brock Purdy will find a way to get it done.
My bad. You said 49ers and
Seahawks.
49ers Seahawks. This is a tough one for me, man. This is a tough one. Give me. Oh man, it's in Clear, right?
Nope. Seattle. Lumen Field.
Seattle. Give me Seattle. Give me the Seahawks in the upset. Mike McDonald, second year as a head coach, and I feel like he gets it done. Sam Darnold shows he deserved to be in the spot that he was last year. I don't know if he gets another 36 touchdowns or whatever it was he threw, but give me the Seahawks in this one, in a close one, upset.
And next up, the number 1 overall pick, Cam Ward, and the Titans going a mile high to play the Broncos. Give me the Broncos in this one. I love what they've done in the offseason. I think Bo Nix is going to have another good year. I'll take the Broncos.
Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about who really scares you on the Titans, I mean, who are we really talking here? Are we talking number 1 overall pick, Cam Ward? Are we talking Jeffrey Simmons? Are we talking, is L'Jarius Sneed even healthy? Calvin Ridley, you know what I mean? Nobody really scares me. Again, I think that the Broncos, bless you, by the way, I think the Broncos, this one, they come out a little bit more buttoned up. Again, like I said before, with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Falcons, I think the Broncos get this one done.
Yes. Next up now, we have a nice NFC North matchup, which, we'll probably see it again on Thanksgiving. Lions and the Packers, 425 at Lambeau. Not the frozen tundra of Lambeau. Yeah, we still have to wait till like November to say that one. I cannot wait to say that one. But right now, the warm tundra of Lambeau Field, starting off nice, and This one could go any way. I think I like what the Packers did getting Micah Parsons. I just have my questions about the Lions. And for this, I'm going to take the Packers. Might be surprising. I think there will be growing pains with the Lions. I think it could last up until week 4. And I will have the Ravens beating the Lions by at least 10 points, 2 scores come week 3. Give me the Packers.
You know what? This is tough for me, man. This is tough for me. I honestly can't tell you exactly why, but I have a feeling that Detroit walks away with this one. I'm gonna go with the Lions just because of my gut on this one. Give me
Okay.
Lions.
All right, moving on. The Texans and the Rams, the final game of our 4 o'clock window. CJ Stroud and them boys, Nico Collins, looking to make the playoffs and win the South for the 3rd straight year, I believe. And then the Rams, Matt Stafford, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, and then obviously behind them, Kyron Williams. Give me the Rams in this one. I think the Texans are, a good team. I think it'll be close, but I think Devontae and Puka are going to show you why they're a damn good 1-2 combo.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go with the Rams on a close one. Tay Adams, Puka, and also Kyron Williams. I think that Matthew Stafford has a lot of help. I think he was cleared of his back issues, and I think those will probably end up flaring up at some point in the season, just based off of what I know about back eye words, right? But in this one, I do have Rams pulling out a pretty close one as well. Give me the Rams.
Yep, so we obviously picked Sunday night, and now moving on to Monday night, Vikings and Bears in Chicago. I am going to pick the Bears to win this one. As much as I want to say the Vikings, I think it's just they have a lot behind them. I think the new coach Ben Johnson injected life. I thought Caleb Williams looked really good at points in preseason. I like what they've done to build around him, getting Luther Burden, having 2 tight ends, Colston Loveland and Cole Kmet. Obviously DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, Swift behind them. I think their offense will be looking good. I just think JJ McCarthy won't be playing the best in this game. Hostile environment. I think it'll be close, but the Bears pull it out.
Yeah, I also have the Bears in this one. This one, to me, honestly, comes down to, home field advantage. I do think that the Bears in this one will take it home. Ben Johnson is trying to instill a entire new regime and culture in Chicago, which was absolutely necessary. I think that we see the first kind of remnants of that in week 1 against a young quarterback. Give me the Bears in this one, too.
There it is. There's your week 1 picks for the 2025 NFL season, courtesy of the Purple Rain podcast. So if you take them together, win some money, let us know. And I know for our next segment, I will be tracking our bets we put together using units. So we'll put 1 unit on each of these bets, and every week we'll track it. And then it includes Ravens parlays and just NFL parlays in general. Come Monday night game, Sunday night, Thursday night, all that.
Hey man, well you kind of did the introduction right there. You guys make some money here. Let's go ahead and get into our parlay segment now.
Beautiful. The Purple Rain parlay. I think one of my favorites. If you aren't familiar with parlays, putting bets together. And I think for Ravens games, we like to keep it a nice little 3-legger. We'll each pick one. Maybe the chat will pick one. I know you have your leg picked. I think I have my leg picked. I'll definitely take a look at the Ravens odds and the Lions. But what do you have for your first leg?
My leg, and look, since I'm not in a legal sports gambling state right now, I need you to kind of look up for me what the odds are going to be on this one.
We're here.
But give me Justice Hill on his receiving yards.
Oh, it's not even up yet. It is not even up for it. Nope, we don't even have receptions. Wow. We have it for 3 players right now. We have Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, and Rashad Bateman.
What are those standing at? What are those lines?
Rashad Bateman, 36.5. Mark Andrews, 45.5. Zay Flowers, 57.5.
I see they're not giving out the free Rashad Bateman 25 plus yards at plus money anymore like they were last year. That's pretty funny.
No.
It's gonna be an interesting one then. I think my leg, I might, because we're underdogs, right?
I believe Ravens we still are, yes.
I mean, if you
we
get
are
Ravens money line,
minus 116. The Bills are minus 102.
What's the spread?
1.5.
I like the Ravens minus 1.5. Okay. I think that since there's no player prop right now for Justice Hill, And just if you're watching this after the fact, if you're watching this right before the game Sunday or like Saturday or something like that, and you can go and find Justice Hill's over for his receiving yards, whatever that is, take the over. But right here, right now, I'm gonna go with Ravens -1.5. Yeah, I'm gonna take this on that one.
Okay, I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I think for me, I think it. I'd be. I'm gonna take it here. You can now do increments of 5. I'm gonna take Rashad Bateman, 25 plus yards at -240. So those two legs right now, we're at a +159 with the Ravens -1.5 and Rashad Bateman 25 yards. That's a pretty good spot. And Boost will be out on Sunday. If you want to save it until then, I'm liking it.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. 25 plus yards for Rashad Bateman. To me, feels free. To a lot of Ravens fans, feels free a lot of time. And now I guess to Vegas, they're not really, giving out the plus money on that all willy nilly like they were in seasons past. So, the -240 or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn, that's kind of crazy. Crazy.
Come a long way.
I'll take it though. Exactly. We've come a long way. As Rashad Bateman truthers, we got to take the good with the bad, right? So yeah, we got two right there. We got Bateman 25 yards. We got Ravens -1.5. We need a third one. So what we need a chat. We need somebody in the chat to give us a third leg for this Purple Rain parlay for this Ravens game on Sunday, man.
Yeah, so I'll just throw. There's some new stuff.
Go ahead.
There's some new things.
Yeah.
Player to record a sack. You can now bet on who will get a sack. So the
You
favorite is you can parlay it. Greg Rousseau +134, Kyle Van Noy +140, Bosa 210, Namdi Madubuike 225, Mike Green 235.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm staying away from Mike Green. I'll tell you that right now. I don't think he'll get this situation.
But Van Noy though at +140. Think about that.
I like it. I like it a lot. I see Derrick Henry 100 rushing yards. His over/under is 82.5.
Terry Mitchell in the chat. Shout out to you, Terry. Says Derrick Henry 100 rushing yards as well. What did you say the line was on that again?
82.5.
82.5. Okay, got you. Ravens are gonna spam Derrick Henry unless the Bills offense comes out and just absolutely torches the Ravens defense early on, which I do not expect personally. So I also do like Derrick Henry over 82.5 rushing yards. I like that too. I don't hate that. That could be a close one. That could be a tight one, to be honest with you. Between that and Rashad Bateman 20 plus, that could be a tight one. But what are your thoughts on that? Over 82.5 for Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I like it, but I think for me, the fact that we're on plus money, I probably just would alt it to like maybe 60 yards. And if you take that, it gets you to a +198, damn near +200, which I don't think is hateful at all.
It's not. What should be the minimum odds for these bets that we make, these parlays? Like +150?
I think that's fair. Because we're not going too scared, but you're still getting plus money and making money. I think it's fair.
Okay, so sounds good to me. We can do that. 60. Go ahead and list them out for us one more time, Alex, so we all know.
Ravens spread at -1.5. Rashad Bateman 25 plus yards. Derrick Henry 60 plus yards. 3-legger +200. Go and make your money and bet responsibly. And we will be tracking these, so we will let you know. We'll be honest. We're not gonna sit here and lie. I think last year we were pretty profitable. Now this year we're gonna do the same thing.
Yes. So you heard it here first, folks. That is the first of many Purple Rain parlay segments here at Purple Rain Podcast. If you enjoyed that, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel as well. We appreciate it because there's a lot more where that came from. All right, so let's go ahead and switch back here. So let me see what else we have here for you guys after the parlays. I think we're pretty much down to our questions set here. Before we wrap, if you got any questions, if you're in the live chat right now, drop your questions in the chat so we can go ahead and answer those before we get out of here on this episode 31 of the Purple Rain podcast. I guess while we're waiting on some questions, Alex, if you had, because I know you're probably gonna get in some action tonight. I know you're probably gonna get some action tonight on the Eagles and Cowboys game. What do you got for us?
I already have some put in right now. Nothing too crazy.
Okay.
I have the Jake Ferguson over of 38.5 yards. I think the Cowboys will be throwing the ball a lot. So that's a -113. Yeah. My goal this year is to be a lot smarter betting. No crazy long shots. The only long shot I would do is touchdown parlays. I think that is what really would hurt me. I have Dallas Goddard 15 yards, Devonta Smith 30 yards, CeeDee Lamb 50 yards, minus 109. Yeah, it's minus
Mm,
money, but I'm damn near doubling it. I think that's safe. And then I put in a long shot 15 legger just for my friend. But he did pick the Eagles and win tonight. What you could do is if you want to pick the Eagles and the Chiefs, there's a boost, and that's plus money. So if
mm,
you want those two teams to win, it's plus money right there. But nothing too crazy
not a bad
tonight.
deal.
Don't know how first games are going to go. If I had to pick anytime touchdown score tonight, anytime, if I had to pick just one,
Yeah,
I'm feeling. I mean, Saquon and Hurts are minus money, but
for sure.
Javonte Williams plus 185. Think the Cowboys could get down into the red zone, punching in with him. He's a big body. Not
Yeah,
gonna bet it, but if you want to maybe get a little bit of money, I think that's a safe one.
that's not a bad one. Let me know what you think about this. Um, George Pickens' longest catch.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah,
Move
because I'm
on.
pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's set at what, like maybe 20 to 30 yards or something like that. That line, if I had to guess, right?
Let's see here. The longest catch. So for him to get a 30-yard reception is plus 195. So let me
Yeah, I
see.
mean, I don't hate that at all. Almost plus 200 for one deep ball that Dak Prescott is going to. He's been throwing to him all training camp. All the quarterbacks for Dallas have been throwing it up to George Pickens, and he's been coming down with it. So I do fully expect him to get that opportunity tonight. And at plus 195, that's not a bad deal, especially if you want to take it straight.
They have his line for 22 and a half yards for his longest catch. I would definitely, I'm
Okay.
spamming that.
Yeah. Yeah. See, you said 22 and a half? What did you
Yeah,
say?
that's his line for his longest catch.
Oh, yeah, definitely take that. Definitely would take that for sure. Let's gonna bring some questions up here. Terry Mitchell in the house. What's going on, Terry? Terry says, "Why or who do you guys think will be an X factor on both offense and defense for Sunday's game versus the Bills? An X factor." Yeah. I mean, so for the Ravens, I think that right side of the offensive line with Roger Rosengard and Daniel Falele going up against the likes of a Gregory Rousseau and an Ed Oliver, that's going to be an X factor matchup. That kind of 2-on-2 there. Whoever can kind of win that, I think will that bode well for their respective teams. So that's one X factor, and then another one for me, where I toss it to Alex, is honestly the Ravens wide receivers. When the Ravens get into third and long, second and long situations like that, especially with a banged up Bill secondary, I need somebody, Rashad Bateman, Zay Flowers in the slot, whether that's DeAndre Hopkins, new Ravens wide receiver, both on the outside, him and Bateman. Somebody's got to get open, right? And somebody's got to be able to show their numbers to Jackson. So when he's scrambling out, which he inevitably will do, he can get the ball to him. And also more design runs. We got 0 design runs from Lamar Jackson in the round loss. So I do want to see more of that, play into the whole X factor thing for Lamar too.
For me, offense, Bateman, defense, Wiggins. I think if anybody's getting picked on the secondary, it's most likely Wiggins. He has a tendency to bite. That's his game, but I think he will win most of his reps against these receivers for the Bills. And I think he could definitely jump one. I'm not saying he'll get a pick. Could definitely jump one. Could get one, or he would just bat the ball down. So I like Wiggins and Bateman to be my guys on offense and defense to be X factors.
It's not. Wiggins might get picked on, but so might Malachi Starks as well, because he will be out
Yeah.
there pretty heavily. The rookie. I know that they're looking at tape on him and what he kind of does, his tendencies, so they can kind of go at him as well. Let me see. The April 123 says, "How do y'all feel about Amari Cooper retiring?" So yeah, Amari Cooper decided to retire today, 10 days after signing with the Raiders. So I mean, I guess he just had a sudden change of heart. Was like, you know what? I really don't like going through a whole 18-week season all over again. Who's probably not going to contend for a championship this year. Let me just go ahead and bow out. So I mean, I respect it, man. Football's a hard game. It takes a lot of dedication. So if you don't have it 100%, but what do you think?
Yeah, I saw they said he was struggling to ramp up. So basically what you said, it's probably hard to get back into football shape and play this week. You have a game in 3 days. It's not preseason, it's regular season, gotta go all out and kind of just hung it up and before getting in those washed edits. So I respect it from Cooper, fantastic receiver, and glad I got to go on his terms and not anybody else's.
Yeah, agree there. Totally agree there. Brian DeRosa in the house. What's going on, Brian?
What's up? What's up?
Brian says, "Who do you think will get out of the gate slowly this season?"
Whew.
For me, I'm gonna go Derrick Henry. I'm gonna go Derrick Henry. When you look at what he did last season, didn't really get going until that Cowboy game. Really, we really didn't see Derrick Henry until week 3 of the season. I think that it kind of speaks to his run game, actually like play by play. Like you need to get a full head of steam for Derrick Henry. He get going first before he really gets going. So maybe he doesn't come out week 1 with 100+ yards, as we just bet him to get 60+, which I think is a safe bet for Derrick Henry. He's going to get enough opportunity, I think. But I think he does get out the gates a little bit slow. Maybe he does that under 82.5 rushing yards. And
Yeah.
the next week against the Browns, since they have our numbers so well, he doesn't necessarily go all against them. But then week 3 against the Lions, that's when he starts to open up. So if I had to pick anybody, I'm going to go Derrick Henry to start off the season slow. But what about you?
I'm gonna go pass rush. I think it's
Mm,
unrealistic to expect Cobb to do what he did last year. Started off, with a good amount of sacks, and Oweh as well. You had 2.5 in that second game. And you had one against the Bills. I think the Ravens might be forced. I hope this doesn't happen, but to throw Mike Green in there, more than they would like to. And maybe he's the spark that this edge rush needs, or maybe Tavius Robinson getting there. But I don't see us starting off and getting 5, 6, 7 sacks in the game. I think we're lacking in that department, and I think the answer is number 45. So I'll go with the pass rush starting off slow this season.
okay, okay. That's interesting. I mean, if that were to happen, that would really be side-eyeing Odafe Oweh, to be honest with
Yeah,
you. You know, contract year, you're still a young guy. You beefed up your measurables over the offseason. Of course, look good in camp. I need you to come out there and I need you to be all over the quarterbacks. All over them. Show me
yeah,
that 10 sacks last year on a fluke. Right?
yeah. And I wouldn't be mad if it's not against the Bills, or if it is against the Bills, because Allen obviously can move. He's hard to bring down, but love you, Joe. But the Browns game, Joe is not mobile. There should be no reason you're not getting at least 3 or 4 sacks on him. No reason.
Yeah.
That's minimum. So if we can't get home on the Browns and Flacco, then I'll really have questions.
Agreed. Agreed, man. Honestly. That's a sitting duck, nowadays at least. He used to have some legs. Joe Flacco
Yeah,
did. We all remember
yeah.
those days, glory days of a good old Joe. But that's gonna go ahead and wrap our question segment and this episode 331 of Purple Rain Podcast. Again, thank you guys so much for coming out to this one. We appreciate each and every one of you. Listen, this is the very start of the season, so if you did enjoy the content you saw today, make sure you like the video. Not only that, make sure you subscribe to our channel as well. Going to be a lot more Ravens content just like this coming your way over the next couple of months or so. So make sure you stay locked in. You can follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast. Of course, subscribe to us here on YouTube. You can subscribe to us on Kick as well. Shout out to our viewers over there on Kick, the Purple Rain Podcast. You can find this guy on Twitter at simply10. You can find him on Instagram at simplyas10.prod. You can find me anywhere at Sutton Def. It's been a pleasure, you guys. Can't wait until the next episode of the show. With that being said, I'm going to let my guy Alex take us out.
Thank you for coming through to episode 331 of the Purple Rain Podcast. Hopefully, we have a nice Victory Monday on our next episode. And remember, tomorrow's Purple Friday, the first one of the year. Thank you for coming through, liking, sharing, commenting, supporting. As always, stay positive, test negative.
Yes. And never, ever forget, even on the rainiest days, to call guys. Episode 331 of PRP. We're going to catch you guys in the next one. Peace.